My name is Sayla Elsbree-Kraft, and I manage United Way's Healthy Meals program in the California Capital Region. We're in Sacramento, California. I'm happy to be joining this webinar today to discuss our local efforts around Spike Week events and other creative summer partnerships that we have used to help us increase participation at summer meal sites in our region. I hope you find some inspiration in these slides and leave the webinar with some ideas to be excited about as well. So before I jump into our work around food access and child nutrition programs, I would like to provide you all with a vision of the broader context of our local United Way's community impact work. The Square One project, which you can see the icon for on this slide, is United Way California Capital Region's promise to our community. Over the next 20 years, we will make a significant increase in the number of kids who graduate from high school ready for success in college or career. Our efforts to end poverty start in school. So on this slide, you can see our 4 pillars. We're doing this work by keeping kids in school and on track, setting high expectations, and ensuring kids and their families have a healthy support system. And some of our programs and initiatives include a campaign for grade level reading, kindergarten to college savings program, free tax prep, financial coaching services, among other programs. United Way's Healthy Meals program, which I'm going to talk about today, ensures strong support for children while they're in school and also during the summer months so that they have the nutrition they need to focus, learn, and develop. All right, so United Way's Healthy Meals program, we are a sponsor of the USDA's Child and Adult Care Food Program and Summer Food Service Program. So our Healthy Meals program does run year-round. Our region includes 3 counties, Sacramento, Placer, and Yolo County. We have about a 100-mile radius for our program, and we service 19 after-school programs and 28 summer sites. Our sites include housing properties, libraries, community centers, boys and girls clubs, and rec centers. And we've served over 736,000 meals since the program started in 2014. Our program this year for summer is running from June 1st to August 10th. Last summer, we served over 55,000 meals to youth throughout the summer, and in the county, there were 580,000 meals served. In early 2016, the Sacramento Summer Meals Collaborative was formed to bring together the region's summer food service program sponsors and also other community advocates to collaborate on ways to increase involvement of youth in the summer programs and also raise awareness about summer meals and community feeding and meal sites. Our steering committee consists of partners such as California Department of Education, Sacramento County's Obesity Prevention Program, Sacramento Public Libraries, Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services, YMCA, Dairy Council of California, and Senator Dr. Richard Pan's office, as well as 3 local school districts. And on the slide, you can see a picture of our most up-to-date summer meals flyers. They were just recreated this year to have more of an emphasis around enrichment and activities and not just meals. All right, so while this isn't a midsummer event, one of our big efforts this year as a collaborative was to host a collectively planned summer meals kickoff at the Capitol. Sacramento is one of the most quickly spreading cities in the country, and we found that while kickoff events held in various locations throughout our sprawling region did definitely hold some merit, we weren't able to spread the word about summer meals as well as we would have liked to. So with a local school district taking the lead, Natomas Unified School District, we decided to put all of our efforts into one event at our state capitol building, and we called it a picnic at the Capitol. It was held on May 22nd, and we invited field trips of classes from school districts throughout the county, and we also focused on getting media attention for the event and summer meals as a whole. We served over 1,200 meals that day and made sure to source locally, and the meals were also scratch made. We invited over 25 vendors including farms, libraries, nonprofits, and school districts to come out to the Capitol, and they led a variety of different activities with the kids. You can see in the pictures on the slide some pictures from the event. All of those white booths are different vendor booths where there was activities for the kids to partake in. All right. So last year, the collaborative focused on creating a Spike Week toolkit to encourage community participation at summer meal sites throughout the week after 4th of July, so in the second week of July. And as I'm sure many of you are aware, 4th of July is a date on which many sites throughout the nation experience decreases in participation. And we hoped to create an easy-to-use guide that summer meal sites could use to host a series of events to inspire the community to continue to participate in summer meals after that 4th of July date. On this slide, you can see a picture of the front cover of the toolkit we created. The toolkit can be found on our website. There's an easy-to-use link to get to it if you go to fuelyoursummer.org, just spelled how it usually would be. That's fuelyoursummer.org. And we can share the link out at the end. So this year, Spike Week is July 9th through the 13th. Spike Weeks help to re-engage the community and remind families of the Summer Meals program. And this toolkit was made to use as a guideline to help plan events and activities for Spike Week. And sites can use as much or as little of the toolkit as is fitting for them. So they could do 1 day of activities or they could do 5 days of activities. It's really up to them. The toolkit has a suggested list of themes for each day of the week. Themes include Move It Monday, Maker Monday, Teamwork Tuesday, Wacky Wednesday, California Thursday, which is in California. There is a nonprofit called Center for Eco-Literacy that started an initiative called California Thursday, and it's a day where meals are sourced entirely from within our state. And then Fun Friday is another option. There are fun activity suggestions with instructions for each of these themes. The activities are all very easy to implement, and they can be led by staff and volunteers at the summer meal sites, but the sites are also encouraged to invite outside providers to lead activities on any of these days. We also included a reading list with book options for daily reading circles that fit within the daily themes. The books are arranged by grade level, and we included a suggestion that older participants, community members, or even elected officials can read to the younger participants. Towards the end of the toolkit, we included a Spike Week planner so you can be prepared and write out all of your ideas for your Spike Week. So that's what that looks like. And during Spike Week, sites can offer incentives to the kids and families that have perfect attendance. So some kind of a prize if they have been attending for all the days of Spike Week. We also offered an incentive for the sites to participate in Spike Week. So 2 sites were selected from a drawing to win a smoothie bike party if they actively participated in Spike Week, incorporated daily themes and activities, used the Spike Week flyer, which I'll show in a couple of slides from now, engaged community partners, and also shared pictures on their social media. Here you can see some pictures from the smoothie bike parties. One was held at a library, and another was at a program in a park, which is a mobile feeding site. The smoothie bike parties were offered in partnership with Health Education Council. That's our smoothie bike that they lent to us, and Dairy Council of California. You can see here the editable flyer we provide for Spike Week, and the toolkit also has a sample newsletter article so that the site supervisors can work with the press to raise awareness. Some tips for making your Spike Week a success definitely include starting to plan early, part of that is if you're planning early, being able to get the word out early enough so that people know you're holding these events. Engaging volunteer help if you're going to need that, and engaging community partners. So you can really make the most of some of these theme days if you have an activity provider come out and lead an activity with the kids at your site. And of course, having fun. All right. So in addition to our Spike Week Toolkit, I wanted to also quickly share a few other tips and suggestions. We found that incentives for daily attendance at the sites made a really significant impact in our region. There was one library who previously was having about 5 kids attend each day, and when they offered a prize of a fidget spinner at the end of the week, they were up to 25 kids per day coming throughout the week so that they could win that fidget spinner. We donated fidget spinners to several of our sites and saw really great success with it, and so we looked into it for this year, what the trending item was. We had some surveying we did, and so we included a question about what that item was, and we discovered that slime is very popular in 2018, so we'll be sending out some prizes in a couple of weeks for the sites to use of slime. So that survey that I just mentioned, it was a strategic analysis of summer meals participation, and we conducted it this spring 2018. We interviewed approximately 200 youth and caregivers. They were in-person interviews, and approximately half of the survey participants said that they came out primarily to the sites for activities. It looks like I didn't quite finish this slide, but that's what it was going to say there, is that they came out for activities primarily, and then the other half came out primarily for the meals. So while people come out for both, primarily they're coming out for the meals, half of them, and then the other half for activities. So in response to this finding, this year we are matchmaking activity providers in our region, both nonprofit and for-profit, with different summer meal sites. We solicited commitment from activity providers such as local arts museums, a nonprofit here called Code for Hood that does coding workshops with kids, and other types of activity providers like that. And we created parallel web forms so that the sites could say what they offer, what their availability is, what age groups they work with, etc. And the sites would also request the parallel information. So when are they available to host an activity? What grade levels are represented at their site, etc. So I included the links for those in case anyone thinks that might be useful in their region to use. And then finally, just a few other notes. Like Ricky said in the presentation before, we've actually also been serving caregiver meals. We received some funding through a sponsor to be able to serve caregiver meals at 5 of our sites, and we're very curious to see how that affects attendance. So we'll have to report back about that, but our sites have started to do that, and they record those adult meals separately, of course. We received in-kind billboard advertisements this year. So our state fairgrounds allowed us to put up a billboard about summer meals. We also worked with Sacramento County to get some billboards up about summer meals. Tabling at free community events and near summer meals sites can be a great way to re-engage the community. Distributing materials at farmers markets, especially those ones that allow for SNAP benefits. CalFresh SNAP outreach at summer meal sites. Our local food bank is partnered up with several summer meal sites in the region doing that. And then we also have a local urban farm that is doing produce distributions at several summer meal sites. Posters around the community as well can be a great idea. So that concludes my presentation for today. Thank you everyone for your time. I can answer questions at the end or through the chat. I'm going to hand it back to Jimmy now.
Thank you, Sayla. That was a presentation chock full of information. Thank you for that. And we will definitely be sending out each presenter's presentation in PDF format so that you can click on some of those links that they shared. And I'm interested in looking at your matchmaking web page. That's a great idea to match community partners with some of your sites. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to our next presenter. She is Clarissa Hayes from the Food Research and Action Center. Take it away, Clarissa.